Hello everyone, and what you're watching here is an already in progress live stream from a few days ago about the mummy from the monster manual. This is the actual math and process of how I expose the CRs for these monsters. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into the video. How does glare affect CR if at all? Alright, let's take a look at that. Oh, glare. That's the one that it's like frightful presence. Let's pull that up. Let's just grab, where is it? Monster manual, there we go. Mummies. Oh, I need a mummies, page 227. So let's go to 228. Perfect. I don't know how that worked. All right, so we're talking about the dreadful glare. And the dreadful glare targets one creature it can see within 60 feet. If the target can see the mummy, it must succeed a saving throw, blah, 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 or become frightened. Okay. Because it's in part of the multi-attack, I would treat it similar to Frightful Presence. So I would either use Frightful Presence or Horrifying Visage, which would fall under the same rules as it would follow the same rules as Frightful Presence, which means if the monster's over CR3, then unfortunately it doesn't get any kind of a bonus. In this case, right now, let's say here, let's just throw it on to the Quickling because we have the information here. It's getting an additional 1.25 times hit points, so that's why we're only seeing 3 because it's a quarter of the 10 hit points. So yeah, it's adding in an effective quarter, 25% hit points if the mummy or the monster is under CR10 or under. And we can see that in, do I have the, yeah. Let's go here. And then we'll jump down to page 270. Let's get down to, perfect. This is right where I wanted it. All right, so Frightful Presence. Increase the monster's effective hit points by 25 if the monster is meant to face characters of 10th level or lower. I've read this once before and kind of, when I was building out my tool on Google Sheets, I was kind of concerned about the wording here. And in essence, we would want to look at like Zenithor's Guide and the monster building there. Do I have the book? I might have to grab that later on. I don't think I have it with me right now. For Zenithor's Guide for encounter building, I like to use those charts there. And actually, no, I think I did look at this before. And it's pretty even. Like a level 10 character could fight level 10 monsters. So it still kind of worked out. So I think that's why the chart and why I built it this way was that as long as the monster is a CR10 or lower, we'll add in the 25 extra hit points. And we can go from there. So the glare, in essence, is adding in extra hit points because if the Frightening Presence and the glare works, which I had a mummy recently in a one-shot adventure or one-page adventure, and the glare didn't work at all. Everyone fended it off because it was just a regular mummy. But it was able to, it's supposed to fear and send the extra players away. So in essence, it's gaining extra hit points. So that's how I apply the glare. I set the glare up as either Frightful Presence or Horrifying Visage. It's the same thing, these two. Even as we see here, see Frightful Presence. Oh, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go here. So yeah, glares from the mummy. Extra 25% hit points provided the mummy or anything else using that monster feature is CR10 or less. So for instance, let's throw in a whole bunch of hit points on our Quickling here and say it's got 20 hit dice. All right, that didn't really do much. You know what? While we've got some time left, where did I put my mummy? All right, let's throw this into the machine here. So I'm going to hit reset. It's going to reset everything. Let's get rid of all these little extras that I put on. And hopefully there's no spells to deal with. No, there's no spells, thankfully. Spells take some time. Oh, let's see your comment here. Do you take things like crits from paralyzing effects from creatures like the Mummy's Glare or the Fiend's Flail as paralysis into account regarding OCR? No, I don't. I don't actually... every monster that I've worked with that has been officially printed, and if you've been watching my videos on Wednesdays, I've been going through Kobold Press's Creature Codex. It doesn't seem to really matter. Crits and paralyzing effects, like, I would think that a paralyzing effect may actually increase the effective AC of the monster, because that character can't do anything, so it's stuck in place. Therefore, it would, in theory, like, oops, I don't want to go there. Let's just hide that so I don't keep clicking it. In essence, I would think that maybe paralyzing effects would work similar to Constrict and add in like a bonus effective AC. So you could try playing around with something that, you know, paralyzes or otherwise restrains a player in place and see how that works out. Because I'm always aiming to hit the CR, and if I ever go over, it's usually because there's way too much damage going on. And if I'm ever under, it's usually because I might be missing something. So just for the fun of it, since we have the mummy here, and I'll add this to my list. Let's see here. Since I'm going to go through it, it's a mummy. And it's a CR3, just so I have that for my records. All right, let's go through this. All right, so our mummy has AC 11. It is a medium creature with 9d8 hit points and a constitution of 15. The wisdom and the charisma don't matter because it doesn't have those features. And then the damage. So first of all, let's look at a couple other things. Our mummy is vulnerable to fire, but it's only one trait. It's only one condition. So I'm ignoring that. It seems as though D&D and Wizards only takes into account anything with 3. So because the damage vulnerability is just fire, we're not going to count it for this. It does have resistances to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, so we were going to add in that. We'll click this for resistance. So our mummy is getting 2 times the hit points because of its damage resistances, and it's also got immunities to necrotic and poison damage. Now, it's 2, so I'm going to ignore it because I've been doing this so much now that I already know that immunities is also going to be 2 times the hit points, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just put in resistances because I like to keep that hard rule of 3 conditions or more to take that into account. It's got a bunch of condition immunities. If you've been watching my videos, I never add those in. Those don't matter. Then we got the multi-attack and Rotting Fist. So, like I said before, Dreadful Glare. Let's add that in as a frightful presence. Or, just for the fun of it, let's say Horrifying Visage, which is giving plus 36 effective hit points. Which may or may... Let's see, what is Frightful Presence giving? 45. Something might be off. Oh, no. This is right. 36 is right because I forgot about the immunity. So, yeah, duh. 145, a quarter of that should be 36. Okay. So now we have the Rotting Fist. Let's take a look at the Rotting Fist and read through that. Rotting Fist's got plus 5 to hit, so we can add that into its attack bonus. Also, I forgot to mention the saving throw. There's only 1 save, so we don't have to worry about that. The saving proficiency is 0 to 2. If we had more, it would get plus 2 or plus 4 effective AC bonus, but because it doesn't, 0 to 2 only, it gives nothing. There's no bonus there. So Rotting Fist, back to that. Hits 1 target, has a plus 5 to hit, and it deals 10 bludgeoning damage and 10 necrotic damage. So here's one thing to remember. The necrotic damage is actually 10.5 because of that odd number of 3d6s. So if we had a multi-attack here, if we had a multi-attack of 2 Rotting Fists, that would then be a total of 21 necrotic damage, not 20. So our defensive, our damage per round, let's just throw that in, will be 10 from the bludgeoning plus 10.5, but we're going to drop the 5 because it doesn't matter, and that will be 20. Let's see here. If the target is a creature, it must succeed a Constitution saving throw or be cursed, and starts losing hit points every 24 hours. Because it's a curse, we are going to ignore that because it takes forever for it to come into effect, especially if these players come across this mummy at higher levels or a deep, long dungeon. It doesn't matter. The curse is important, and it's important for play, but in terms of finding the CR, doesn't matter. So looks like we have everything for our mummy here. So let's take a look at our totals in the green section and see what we come up with. Boom. There we go. We have a CR3. That's the printed rating for our mummy. The DCR is a 3. The OCR is a 3. Proficiency bonus +2. Because of the effective hit point boost from Frightful Presence of the Dreadful Glare, we have our CR3 of the mummy. And there you have it. That's how you break down and expose the monster's CR values. If you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button down below and give the video a thumbs up. I post daily. And until next time, thanks for watching.